And we're back at his 8:05 on a Tuesday here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. We're live here inside the Suburban Chevrolet Make the Choice studio. Sam Webb and I are Weintraub on the other side of the glass. Again, folks, bracket science night as we break down the NCAA tournament bracket. Great depth and detail with a few great guests. Pete Tiernan, Ed Fang, Ira and I will be there. And you, as we go back and forth about the NCAA tournament tonight. 20 West Stadium Boulevard in Ann Arbor. It's the address of the Wolverine Brewing Tap Room. And a portion of the proceeds from the beer sales tonight will go to beatblindness.com, benefiting the University of Michigan Kellogg Eye Center. Well, joining us as she does every single Tuesday to break down her team. And this week we're talking about postseason play is Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes-Arico. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
All right, so, Coach, WNIT, as you said last week, and the fifth straight season that the Wolverines, the Michigan women's basketball program, will be a part of postseason action. I think you said it best last week when you said, you know what, this is an opportunity for a young team, a team that's returning almost everyone next year, to play a little longer and to practice a lot more.
Yeah, it's been a great week for us because it's given us the opportunity to really work on the things that we struggled with during the season and really to spend some extra time in the gym and kind of have some fun while doing it as well. So we're excited to still be playing, and we're excited to get some more practices under our belt.
So give me an idea, Coach. One of the things that we see even on the football side of things, you get the extra time and a lot of work on fundamentals. So I imagine that's something that you do. But what are some of the specifics that maybe you get into? Because I know one of the topics that we've kind of focused on, you and I, in speaking the last few weeks is late game situations. So, that has seemed to be a real theme of our conversation. I wonder, has that been something in practice that you focused on?
Oh, yeah, very good, Sam. You could probably write up our practices. Yeah, we have been spending a lot of time on individual skill development and player development, but every day we've been spending a lot of time on end-of-game situations. Up a point, down a point, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 3 seconds, a minute left in the game, and really just working on the confidence at the end of the game to take the shot, who's going to take the shot, what we're going to run, if they switch defenses, what we're going to try to do, and then also from the defensive end, if we need one stop. Or if, we have a minute and a half, we're up 3 points, we need multiple stops. So we've really been working on those situations, and I think that we're getting better and better at them, and we're figuring out who to get the ball to in those situations, and then, who's our best defenders and who to have out at the end of the game.
It's an evolving thing. Maybe, earlier in the season, when the season first started, maybe it was always Shannon that was going to be that player, but do you feel more comfortable now? Multiple options. I know we saw Saisha come through with a big play for you a little bit earlier in the season as well. So it seems like you have a few players that you could go to in that situation.
Definitely, and I think that shows, the improvement of our team. I think you have to have multiple people at the end of the game because, if you think about our men, every team in America is probably trying to take Nick away at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So, they're going to double team him. They're going to deny him the ball. They're going to make it really hard for him to get the ball. So they have other people on their team that have stepped up all throughout the year, and Jordan Morgan made such a great play the other night. So that's how we feel too. Shannon's probably going to have the other team's best defender on her, and they're going to be denying her the ball, and they're probably trying to double team her at times. So we need to kind of use her sometimes as a decoy and try to get the ball to other people down the stretch. So I think that's something that we've been working on, using multiple people and trying to get better at everyone being able to make a play late in the game.
We're talking to Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes-Arico here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. The Wolverines will be hosting Stony Brook Friday at the Chrysler Center in the WNIT, and that's one of the great things about the NIT, Coach. You get an opportunity to play on your floor, provided you're the higher seeded team, the opportunity to play on your floor in front of your fans. Gotta imagine that that's a real boost to your team.
That's definitely exciting. Our team wasn't sure that we'd have that opportunity again, especially after senior night. So I know that we're really thrilled to have the opportunity to play at Chrysler, and we have a bunch of fans that will be coming to the game, and it's a great opportunity to play in front of your Michigan community as well as your friends and your family. So we're excited to have that opportunity on Friday for sure.
Now, Coach, I know you're probably still in, getting deep into the scout at this very moment, but what you know about Stony Brook at this point, what can you share with us? What can you share with the fans?
Well, Sam, it's interesting because I went to Stony Brook, so that was kind of interesting that we're playing them, and it's back in New York, kind of 15 minutes from where I grew up. And the coach has done a tremendous job, and she actually, I finished up at Montclair State, and that's where she coached prior to being at Stony Brook.
Wow.
So we kind of have, it's kind of interesting. We have a little bit of history. So when that was announced last night, I saw it a little after 11. I was like, oh my goodness, here come two of my schools back out to Michigan. So it's kind of interesting. So I know a lot about the university. I know a little bit about their program. When I was back in New York, I knew them a little bit more, but not so much. The coach has done a tremendous job. She's really turned the program around. They have 24 wins this year. They finished second in their league and lost in the championship game. So they're a quality team. They do a great job of getting to the free throw line. They get there 23 times a game, way more than their opponents. They try to dribble drive at you. They don't shoot many threes, which will give us the opportunity probably to switch up some defenses and to pack it in the paint. So I know a little bit, but today will be spent watching a lot more film on Stony Brook. But it should be a great matchup for sure.
Well, one of the things, Coach, is when you have a little bit of time off, you get an opportunity to go out and hit the recruiting trail somewhat. And it's funny, we got a recruiting question from one of the program's fans, and I know you can't get into specific recruits, but this was a more general question that I wonder if you can ask Coach what a recruiting process is as far as style and what she looks for. I think more specifically, Coach, what you look for as far as size in the front line, athleticism in the backcourt, blue chippers. She wants to know, or this person wants to know, do you like to recruit highly rated players, or would you rather have players that you can recruit and develop?
Well, I think it's a combination. I think sometimes when you're recruiting big kids, you need to get some kids that you're going to have to spend some time with and develop for sure. And, if we can get the best players, I think another thing that we really look for is kids that can play multiple positions and kids that can do multiple things. We definitely want players that can shoot the basketball because that extends defenses and that really opens up the floor for your inside game. So having great shooters on the outside is something we look for as well. But athleticism is key. Speed is key, especially, in the women's game. The speed of the game is changing and growing each and every single year. So if you have kids that are quick and athletic and shoot the basketball, it just opens up transition. And with the changing of the rules and the amount of fouls that are going to be called, if you can get out and transition, and I heard Coach Beeline talking about this last week as well, it's really difficult to stop teams that are going to the basket, going downhill. Gives them an opportunity really to get to the free throw line a lot more with the change of rules. So, we want a player like Saisha Gori on the inside that really has a motor, that can really rebound the basketball, but also has a physical presence and can really, defend on the inside as well as score and give us a presence on the inside. And I think Saisha is really developing into that player. But she came having the athletic ability to do that. She just had to get herself in great shape. So I think, we need to figure out pieces that fit in our program, and different times it's different things. If we have a great point guard, maybe we're looking for a great shooter, and it's nice to have length at those guard positions as well, because that helps defensively and it also helps with the ability to shoot over people.
Yeah, how far down the line do you recruit, Coach? I know on both men's basketball and men's football, they're already recruiting 16s and in some cases the 17 class. How far down the line do you go?
Yeah, it's very similar with us as well, Sam, and it's changed a lot probably in the last few years. But, we already, and we can't comment too much about it, but we already have, our 15 class kids have committed already. And then our 16 class, we're already recruiting, and we have some young ladies that want to come to Michigan already. Our 17 class, it's interesting because we are really recruiting 16s and 17s right now, with probably one position left in the 15 class. So it does get younger and younger, and you do really have to follow these players around, during the season, during the summer. It's 12 months a year.
Right, no doubt. But the here and now, Coach, is Stony Brook this Friday. The Wolverines are in action, and an opportunity for the fans to get out and support the Maize and Blue one more or another time, hopefully more than one more time. But tip time, has tip time been announced yet, Coach?
No, I think it's going to be announced today, but we're hoping for 7 o'clock, so we hope to see everyone there. All
right, folks. Well, we will keep you posted right here. Again, the Wolverines hosting Stony Brook this Friday in WNIT action. So, Coach, we'll talk to you again next week, same time, about what we all hope will be another Wolverine victory.
Thank you so much, Sam.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Michigan women's basketball coach Kim Barnes-Arico. It's about, as she just laid out there, you got basically everyone back other than Val Driscoll for the most part next year. You got a highly ranked recruiting class coming in. The more time you can practice with this group, have this group up to speed, you get an influx of young talent, you get deeper. That was one of the things you look at with this team. You get deeper next year. We're talking about NCAA.
I don't know how it works on the women's side, but on the men's side, 3 of last year's 4 Final Four teams from the men's NIT are dancing. Unfortunately, the 4th is Maryland. But the other 3 are all in the NCAA tournament. Coach Arico and all of our guests from State Street are brought to you by Dexter Builders. Whether you're looking for a bathroom remodeling, room additions, a replacement window, or other commercial and home remodeling, Dexter Builders can turn your home improvement ideas into reality. They are Dexter Builders.
We have so much to get into, and one of our guests is a great preview for tonight's Bracket Science Night. We're going to have Pete Tiernan in studio from BracketScience.com. Get a few early tips for you folks here on the radio. Maybe it'll entice you to come out to Bracket Science Night tonight if the beer at the Wolverine Brewing Tap Room wasn't enough. Maybe some of the expertise from Pete Tiernan from BracketScience.com will hook you, get you to come on out, get the rest of your bracket filled out. So stay tuned for that. Get to Pete coming up here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, the official voice of University of Michigan.